Hi Year 11, I'm going to show you how to use your reference photo in a way that might be more suited for painting. So here I've got Rose's beautiful photograph of a landscape, but I'm trying to perhaps make it a little bit more interesting and useful to use for a painting. So I'm going to take this photo and make it look like this one here. So there's a few differences. You can see the colours are quite saturated, and the background is a little bit blurry to sort of simulate aerial perspective, and also the image has been cropped so that the boat is actually in more of a rule of thirds position, which gives it more of a focal point. So I'm going to go back to this image here, and the first thing I'm going to do is crop it. So over here's my crop tool. Now, if you set your crop, if you go up here to window, you can, no, rather view, you can show a grid so that when you use the crop tool, it'll actually give you a rule of thirds. So this grid, this 3 by 3 rows, 3 column grid is actually rule of thirds. I can shrink it till I've pretty much got the boat in sort of more of a rule of thirds position, so it becomes a focal point. So I'm just going to move that down a bit. There we go. So now I've got the boat in a more interesting position, and I've also got rid of some of the other boats. Okay, I'm going to get rid of that grid because it's a little bit annoying. So I'm going to go back to view, show, and remove the grid. Okay, so next thing I want to do is maybe pump those colors up a little bit. So we go to layer, new adjustment layer. So we use this quite a lot. And in this case, we're going to go to hue saturation, click OK, and just pump up those colors. Oops, wrong button. Make sure you click the correct slider. It's the saturation we want to change, not the hue. So I'm just going to pump that up a little bit. Okay. And yeah, that looks pretty good. While I'm at it, I'll just check my levels, which are the tones. Make sure I've got a good tonal range. If I click option, I can see I've got some rich blacks here. Click that, and maybe I'll just increase the whites a little bit. Okay, so there's a couple of adjustments that I've made to both the tones and the saturation. Now, one thing that beginner painters often struggle with is how do they get all this detail into a painting? Well, most paintings don't have such an amount of detail. So a good thing, a useful thing to do is to try and eliminate some of this detail and just blur it out. So there's a couple of filters that can help you do that. And in order to do that, I'm just going to save this as a JPEG and reopen it. It just makes it easy to apply filters to an image without all these layers. So I'm just going to go File, Save As, save it as a JPEG. I'll just call it Edit 1. Okay, and save it, save a copy, and that way I can save it as a JPEG. Okay, so I'm going to open Edit 1. Here it is. Open that with Photoshop, and now when I open it, it won't have all these layers, which can sort of interfere with filters a little bit. Okay, so I'm on the background layer. Just going to add some filters. So let's try the filter gallery. So if I go to filter gallery, it will give me all these options. Still loading. I'll just make it smaller. It's on cutout at the moment. You can see cutout has already simplified the clouds for me, and I can actually play with these dials and have fewer fewer shapes. So I'm even simplifying it more, and you can see it's turned this shadow into a shape. It's got to a point where it doesn't look very natural though, so I might just go back a little bit. So play with these dials. Got the edges, and the edge fidelity. So have a little play with those, and when you're happy, you can click OK. Before I do that, another useful filter is dry brush. So I find that that works really well. It's a little bit splotchier in the texture, but it works quite nicely actually. Yeah, I might just keep it on cutout because I want to actually show you how to make this background a bit blurrier with another technique. Oh, here's paint daubs. Oh, that actually works quite well too. Okay, so try those. I might actually leave it on paint daubs. Click OK. Now, I want to simulate that effect of aerial perspective, which means that things in the background, they do become grayer, and they are grey here, but they also become a little bit blurrier. So I've used I'm assuming Rose used her smartphone, which has very crisp detail even in the background. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select just this background. You can use all sorts of tools to select, for instance, just even like a lasso tool. It's just a selection, and just draw a selection, or actually I might include that boat. Whoops, let's try that again. Let's just draw a loop around it like that. Okay, and I'm just going to apply a Gaussian blur to that. So again, go to filter, blur, and it's Gaussian blur. Okay, over here, and it lets you blur it as much as you want. I think that's a little bit too blurry, maybe there. And then OK. And to get rid of the marching ants, it's deselect or Command D, and that kind of actually makes the boat pop out even more. I think that works really well. So once I'm finished with it, I can save it. So I'm going to save a copy that allows me to save it as a JPEG, and I'm going to call it Edit 2 and save it, and that's it. So I recommend you have a little play with that, especially if you aren't feeling particularly confident in being able to use your photo simply as a reference rather than copy it exactly. So some people are able to simplify things, and others need a little bit of help. So there you go. I've not only simplified it, but I've also pumped up the colour, the saturation just a little bit to make it look more painterly, I guess. Okay, so there you go. Have a go, and then submit the photo so I can print it out for you. Great. Thanks. Bye.